Go.
Soda, cereal, treats and snacks. There's bad news about sugar everywhere. Danger, caution, don't do this, don't do that. No sugar diets, drinks, sugar substitutes. What are we doing? Why do we need sugar? Well, I'm Dr. Kevin.
I'm Coach Sean.
And we're the FitHealth Pros. Can sugar be good? That's the question today. Why do we need sugar?
Well, we're going to jump right into why we need sugar. Sugar, first and foremost, is an important source of energy. It's very quick to break down in the body. The brain alone requires at least 130 grams of glucose a day for functionality. So we're talking your nerve cells, chemical messengers within the body,
Right.
etc. all need glucose in order to thrive. So sugar is very important. Sugar can be good. It is also the backbone of our DNA, and it can be stored for energy later. So glucose gets stored as glycogen, stores in the muscles. So when you need quick energy for, say, a sprint or a jump or a getting out of the way of danger, that's glycogen, which is stored glucose. So yes, glucose is very important.
All right. Well, let's get into what glucose is, what it does. So it's used directly for energy. The levels rise and fall upon absorption after we eat. So it does stimulate the pancreas to release insulin for glucose burning. Now that's a good thing. A lot of people may think, well, you know, does that cause diabetes? And when we get into the next video, we'll talk about that.
Yes.
So what we're trying to do is use that glucose as fuel for that kind of that quick energy, the energy that we need through the day, also to turn the brain on. The excess glucose is stored as glycogen for quickly needed energy, you know, like you just said.
We just talked, yeah.
And then that enables fructose absorption in the gut. Now, we'll talk about fructose more next video.
Right. And fructose can be demonized quite a bit as well, and we can do a certain amount of fructose. It's the artificial fructose and things like that. Kind of what we're talking about next here is what they mean by zero sugar diets and things like that. We're talking more about artificial means, processed means for fructose, the high fructose corn syrup, the table sugar, things like that. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in the next video. But that's what they're talking about when the proverbial they mean zero sugar diets.
Yes.
No added sugars. There is more sugar in processed and refined foods. You'll find it kind of snuck in like condiments, like ketchup.
Right.
Has a lot of sugar in it that you wouldn't necessarily think that would be a danger zone item. And also in some of these diets, they're going to be watching their carbs. Now that doesn't mean taking carbs completely out.
Right.
Because sugars are a type of carb, but not all carbs are sugars. So we're going to need those carbs for that energy, for the glucose breakdown, for our brain health and other things.
Yes. So as we kind of go along here, at the end of this, there's going to be something that we're going to tell you that's really important and kind of connect this together, because really, you know, glucose is, as an energy source, there's a lot of things in the diet that we can do. When we go shopping, you know, we're talking about shopping around the outside and maybe even the frozen food section,
Sure.
Where those processed and refined foods are down the middle of the aisles.
Right.
The key, though, follows till the end, because we're gonna. There's a secret here. So, what are some good sources of glucose within, you know, our diet? So we all know fresh fruit has that little sugar burst, right? Get you some energy there. So things like kiwis and plums are really good. Dried fruit, raisins, prunes, and apricots, those are good as well. Honey, all natural. Actually, honey's real good. Kind of a level energy.
Sure.
With honey. I think
You're not getting that spike.
Right. Here in Arizona, agave syrup.
Yes.
That's a popular one.
Yes.
Now, fruit juices. unsweetened grape juice, apple juice, and orange juice, absolutely, there's glucose in those. But follow us along here, right? Now,
trick.
here's a couple of other things that people will think, yeah, this is good for my diet, but it does have glucose. So grains, beans, vegetables, and even nuts have some.
In a pinch, if you're feeling a little off.
Mm-hmm. And those are good because with the nuts you're getting some fat in there, right? Mm-hmm. The vegetables, that's what it is. You're getting some water, mm-hmm. I think there too. Here's the key: whole fruit. Well, let me go into the orange juice.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the negative.
Yeah.
Here's the negative.
So you gotta be careful of.
Orange juice concentrate. That can have up to 5 or 6 whole oranges in that
in
6 ounces?
6 ounce glass.
So that's a lot of glucose. That's kind of, they do that for breakfast and you don't need coffee. But that can be detrimental to health, right?
You're going to get that spike and you're going to get that crash.
Yeah, so you don't want that, even though it's natural. I think nowadays people kind of refrain from having those real concentrated things. I know back in my college days, you just get the gallon of whatever berry juice it is.
Right, exactly.
And it's like, oh, I'm eating healthy, I'm drinking my juice because I don't do soda. But you look at the sugar content.
Loaded.
And it was
loaded with added sugar.
But we're talking about good stuff. So guess what? Whole fruit has a lot of fiber. It's ingested. I'm going to say that again.
Ingestion.
So whole fruit is ingested with fiber. I might have to do this 2 or 3 times.
Get it.
All right. So here's the good news. Whole fruit ingested with fiber. There's a ton of fiber. So what happens when you have the whole fruit? So instead of just the juice, you have an apple. Mm-hmm. Or you blend that up in your smoothie almost like with a Vitamix or your bullet blender, where you're doing the skin and the pulp and everything. What happens there? 30% of the sugars don't get absorbed. They don't get ingested into the bloodstream because of the fiber. So that's the key. Make sure if you're having things with lots of glucose for energy that you're balancing that with fiber, and you're going to stay satiated longer. Your energy levels will stay. You won't have that crash. So that was the key there.
That was the key.
That was the key.
I like it a lot.
Yes.
So today we talked about how sugar can be good. The body needs glucose. The brain needs glucose. We talked about the different things that glucose does within the body, the different jobs that it has. We talked about what people are really meaning when they say zero sugar diets. It's not taking all the glucose out. It's not even necessarily taking all the fructose out. Because you are going to want to eat healthy, whole foods if at all possible. Get those processed foods out of here. And then we talked about some good sources for glucose. Easily broken down and healthier for you, so that when you do need a little bump of energy, you can go directly to some healthy sources. So thanks for coming along for the ride. I am Coach Sean.
I'm Dr. Kevin.
We are the FitHealth Pros.
We are.
And that was one of the videos for Nutrition 101.
Yes.
Next video, we're going to talk about fructose, the dangers. Can sugar be as bad as they say? I'll give you a quick answer, yes, but for more information, please watch the next video.
See you guys.
Thanks. I can't read any of it.
I can read everything.
Good,
I can read everything in 1 note.
I can read everything in half a note.
Half a note. Read everything.